Welcome to the Sock Puppet Tribunal, the only show on the internet hosted by me where I make my friends argue for my entertainment. Just a quick reminder that the views and opinions expressed on this video are for entertainment purposes only and should not be taken seriously. Remember, we're just here to have a good time. Tonight, joining us on the tribunal, we have coming in for the first time, Melissa. Melissa, how are we doing today?
Hi, doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm alive and kicking. Thanks. Returning, we have Aaron. Aaron, what's going on, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, another day, another day. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, we have our fact checker, our librarian glasses wearing, our foodie person, Tiffy. Tiffy, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good to hear. Good to hear. But it's not about the tribunal, even though they're in the name. The real stars of our show are the contestants. So let's go ahead and see who we've got in the hot seat tonight. First up, hailing from Alabama, I once saw him forcibly removed from a movie theater for putting projecting a smiley face on Godzilla. We have CheesyFudge. Yay! Let's hear it for CheesyFudge.
I keep telling you, it's a dollar sign, man.
I don't recall. It was a long time ago. I know it was a little pen thing, and I know we were asked to leave, and that's the important part.
Hey, it was a dollar theater, man.
His opponent tonight, self-proclaimed journeyman professional of dried meats and internet memes, the internet personality, Dic Dastardly. Hey, let's hear it for Dic Dastardly. I get too excited there, sir. How you doing tonight, Dic?
I'm doing all right. I'm also known as the Nickelback of the Sock Puppet Tribunal.
That's fair. That's fair. Being that the first album was great, and after that, it's downhill from there. All right. So how's the game played? For those of us just joining us, or if you've never been with us before, this game is pretty straightforward. I found a silly article that we're going to go ahead and talk about with our contestants. They're going to go ahead and argue for and against it. We're going to go ahead and go over the article real quick in just a moment. The rounds are separated into 3 rounds. The first round is for opening arguments. The second round is for rebuttals. The third round is for closing arguments. Each round is 1 minute long. These fine gentlemen are going to go ahead and do their best to make everybody smile and come up with something off the cuff. And at the end of it, we're going to pick a winner, and the loser gets nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. Maybe like I'll give them a finger when I pass their house. I don't know. But that's all they get. So, gentlemen, are you ready to find out what the article is and what you're going to be arguing about today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this article is based off of NBC News, and I swore I would never do this kind of article. I swore I'd never do this kind of question, but then it actually became a news article that came up in the Reddit for Silly News. Indiana judge rules that tacos and burritos are, in fact, sandwiches. Are tacos and burritos sandwiches? A judge in Indiana thinks so. The ruling stems from a legal battle that started in 2022 when a restaurant owner wanted to open a taco Mexican grill in a strip mall, but their agreement said that he had to serve customizable, made-to-order, or Subway-style sandwiches. After taking it to court, a judge declared that tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches, and the contract as written does not apply only to American cuisine-style sandwiches. This is going to be a controversial one, I think. I think that a lot of people are going to have a good bit to say about this one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go with contestant 1, which is going to be CheesyFudge. CheesyFudge, I'm going to have you go ahead and we're just going to have fun with this. Tell me why you think tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches. All right. And Dic Dastardly, you're going to go ahead and tell me why tacos and burritos are not Mexican-style sandwiches.
I want you to know I have never edged so hard in my life. I was hoping so much to be arguing for.
So a little backstory and side note here. Dic Dastardly and I have a common argument about Taco Bell and the validity of Taco Bell as Mexican food, which is why I swore we would never do this kind of argument. But then Reddit came to the rescue, and now we get to. So the least I could do is make him argue what he doesn't believe. So that's why we're going to go ahead and get started with contestant number 1, CheesyFudge. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you are arguing why tacos and burritos are in fact sandwiches, Mexican style sandwiches. We have 1 minute left, or I'm sorry, 1 minute on your clock. I am ready when you are. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and you are going to start right now.
I mean, look at tacos, burritos. They're usually derived from tortillas and or like tostadas, something like that, which are made from either corn or flour or something like that. Well, bread. Bread is also made from corn, flour, and other stuff. So bread's used for sandwiches. Therefore, tortillas, tostadas, and other stuff, it wraps around meat, vegetables, and everything else, condiments, a lot of sour cream, and cheese. Therefore, it's a sandwich. I mean, it's cut and dry. I mean, a hot dog's a sandwich, ketchup's a smoothie. It's just based off of how you think about it. I mean, to a certain point, cereal in the morning, soup. It's whatever you want to call it. Um, like pretty much bread is flour and corn, so are tortillas, so are tostadas. Therefore, those things are sandwich making
Stop,
material.
sir. Your time is up. All right. So, yeah, you went with the traditional argument, and that's fair. That's 100% legitimate. And while you had some controversial claims in there, ketchup being a smoothie, I don't necessarily agree with. I think it's got sugar and it's got fruit, but it also doesn't taste like anything but ketchup. You know what I mean? So there's some bold claims in there, some bold claims, and we'll definitely get into it, I'm sure. But right now, we're going to go to the second half of this round and go ahead and bring Dic Dastardly on. Dic, I'm going to go ahead and get you 1 minute on your clock. Are you ready to argue why tacos and burritos are in fact not sandwiches? Because this is something you're so passionate about.
I'm not gonna lie. The Nickelback in me just wants me to argue that they're still sandwiches. I'm not going to. I'm sticking with the script. Let's go.
All right. All right. So are you ready, sir? I've got 1 minute on the clock. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Your time starts now.
So here is the problem that we run into. Yes, things such as tortillas, they do have some similar ingredients to other bread, but that doesn't mean that a bagel and white bread are the same. The same goes with a tortilla. And generally speaking, most sandwiches contain two slices, not one. Therefore, if you have a taco, you can't even argue that it is an open faced taco because you are folding it. So it's not even an open faced sandwich. It is a taco. And to pigeonhole something so beautiful and so elegant as this one handheld masterpiece that is a taco and say that it's a sandwich is a disaster of epic proportions on a culinary level that we're just not prepared to deal with. This is a terrible ruling. It should be struck down and taken to the Supreme Court.
Stop, sir. All right. So I feel the pain in every word that you say because I know you don't believe a single word of it. But I do have a general question for my contestants here. Something Dic just brought up there. You said typically sandwiches will have two pieces of bread, but I also know that you enjoy a good Subway sandwich, which is not two pieces of bread. They don't sever that bread. It's still connected in the middle. Is that count as a sandwich, or where do you stand on that, Dic?
That is because that is a loaf. So the difference is you're using an entire piece of bread to create two halves. Yes, they are connected in the
Okay.
center, right?
Okay.
But it is a loaf of bread. It is not just a slice of bread.
Okay. So, CheesyFudge, I don't know if you're aware, but there is actually a hot dog authority. I forget what exactly they are, but there's actually a hot dog authority that is declared that hot dogs are in fact sandwiches. So, when you argue that a taco or burrito is a Mexican style sandwich, obviously it has the bread, it has the meats. But if you had to choose one key defining feature of a sandwich, what would you be? What would it be?
Well, the sandwich itself is something that makes your meal portable. and the tortilla wraps around the product and it makes it portable. I mean, look at Disney World. Disney World had a product where it was essentially something wrapped around that had meat in it. They called it a handwich because it was portable.
Fair. Okay, yeah, I get that.
But if I get a cup of noodles, that doesn't make it a sandwich.
Oh, bold
It's
word.
portable.
Styrofoam sandwich.
It is portable. You know, CheesyFudge, I want you to know we're going to have a private conversation when this is all done about cereal being soup, because you actually kind of offended me with that one. I was like, cut deep down inside. I was like, that's not, I can't. Gestapo is, or no, it's not Gestapo. It's
Gazpacho.
Gazpacho.
It's a cold
Gestapo
soup.
is that other thing from Germany we don't talk about. But gazpacho, that's a cold soup. I get that, but cereal, it's a stretch. But we're going to go ahead
It
and
has a cream-based product.
It does have a cream base. Well, I mean, it's not a cream based product. It's a cream product. But I mean, we'll never get anywhere with that. So, CheesyFudge, we're going to go ahead and get started with the second round. The second round is all about the rebuttal. This is your opportunity to kind of poke holes in his theory. Maybe take a couple of jabs at him personally. If you want, I can give you some of his weak points because I like to see the man squirm, to be honest with you. But we're going to go ahead and get 1 minute on your clock, and we're going to go ahead and have you start with your rebuttal. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Awesome. So we've got the 1 minute up. Your time starts now.
Personally, I respect everything Dic said, but like I said before, sandwiches are defined by their portability. And most Mexican foods, i.e. tacos, burritos, are portable. Well, okay, I strike that because of everything else isn't. Okay, I screwed up myself on that one. But like I said, it's got bread because tortillas are made from a dough, therefore bread. It's a sandwich. On one hand, a pizza could be a open face sandwich, and you still fold that. It's all about the portability. So anything that to me is portable is pretty much a sandwich.
Okay.
If it's got stuff wrapped around
it. I apologize, sir. You still got 8 seconds if you want to keep going.
Dic has a nice beard.
He does have a nice beard. Your time is up. All right. Dic does have a nice beard. I shaved for this, by the way. I looked up a YouTube video and got some basic pointers so I could try to make this look not like, pubes on my face.
Hack and slash.
You look good? No? All right.
Look like debonair.
All right. So, Dic, we're going to go ahead and get started with your rebuttal. Your rebuttal is obviously round 2. It's in answer to his original argument. And by all means, if you feel the need to go ahead and do some personal attacking along the way, obviously that's encouraged. I don't have nearly as much to give as far as weak points for him. But I can tell you this much. He has like his second toe. They're uneven on both feet. One's taller, one's shorter than the big toe. It's kind of weird. So I don't know if you could fit that in somehow. Not totally sure, but that's all I got for you. Your timer is ready. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Your time starts now.
So I'm going to take a couple of seconds out of my time just to point out that for people that don't know, there was actually a little article that came out how in Europe they were actually trying to say that because of the sugar content in Subway's bread, that it actually was considered cake, not bread. That being said, let's continue on. So the problem that I have with the idea of just portability is you can make anything portable if you try hard enough, but that doesn't immediately make it a sandwich. So if we're talking about bread and bread products and then just having a filling, then you have to assume that empanadas and things of that like are also sandwiches, and they're not sandwiches. A gyro is not a sandwich. Now, that being said, you could go farther than that. What makes us stop there? A Pop-Tart is just a ravioli, right? I mean,
stop. All right. And I didn't just stop you because you just said a Pop-Tart is a ravioli. I stopped you because your time was up. However, we're going to have a private conversation because, again, that's probably the most offensive thing I've ever heard you say. and I've heard you say some really offensive things.
For what it's worth, I didn't get to finish. Okay, my time was up.
Well, you shouldn't have allotted so much of your time at the beginning then.
What about
Fair
a
enough.
turnover?
All right, so that round was interesting. I'll say that about it. To go back to CheesyFudge, his original argument talking about portability. My question, and this is again just I'm not a judge. I'm not on the panel. I'm just here to ask the important questions. My question is, if tacos are portable, how come they give you a second tortilla at most taquerias in case your first taco spills? Doesn't seem portable to me.
Portability and time are two different things. It's portable for as long as it doesn't fall apart. Second it falls apart, you got that backup, and then that becomes the portable part.
Yeah, I used to play golf with somebody that talked about the power of next time, and anytime I beat him, he was like, "That didn't count because of the power of next time." So what you're saying is because of the power of next time, when a taco doesn't fall apart, that makes it portable.
Yes.
All right, I'll buy that for $1. All right, Dick. All right, so I had actually heard of the news article that Dick had brought up. Ireland's Supreme Court had ruled that bread served in Subway's hot sandwiches does not actually meet the legal definition of bread because of its sugar content. So they did this, if I remember correctly. I haven't read I just brought up the synopsis here, but the whole idea behind it was that they were trying to get out of some sort of tax, and it was based on so Subway themselves were like, this isn't a sandwich, this is it doesn't meet the but anyway, fascinating stuff. Maybe we'll talk about
Which is why pizza is a vegetable.
Oh, all right.
Ketchup is too.
No. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go back to CheesyFudge here for your final round. Your final round is your closing arguments. This is where you really want to hammer home the things that you feel you hit the most, the things that you feel really emphasize your point. And of course, if you have something to jab him with, by all means, take the shot. If you sweep the leg, you know what I mean. I've got 1 minute on your clock. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Awesome. Your time starts now.
I mean, like I said before, portability. I mean, Oreos are sandwiches. Everything could be a sandwich as long as it's wrapped around and it's got the stuff inside of it. I disagree fully about the empanadas. To me, they're a folded over sandwich. They're like a panini. I mean, like empanadas, raviolis could be considered a sandwich too. Really soggy sandwich because most of the time they're boiled, but they could be considered a sandwich. Everything's a sandwich. We're in a society where everything can be whatever it wants to be, and deep down inside, they want to be sandwiches.
All right, sir. Do you concede the remainder of your 15 seconds?
Yes.
All right, not a problem. It happens. You say what you need to say and you get done. That's not a big deal. Sometimes you don't need a minute to make sure that your point is eloquently made, and that's all that really matters. So to circle back to something you had mentioned in your closing arguments there. Firstly, we're not going to talk about raviolis being sandwiches or Pop-Tarts because I just can't. All right, that's just no. I already conceded to the internet, and we talked about tacos being sandwiches. I have no opinion as far as raviolis being sandwiches and or Pop-Tarts. And I'm taking you both off my Christmas card list for even entertaining the idea. But
I was on a list.
You were on a list. You're Cheesy, you're on so many lists. There's no doubt in my mind that you're on so many lists.
Is that why I'm not allowed in Arizona?
That might be why you're not allowed in Arizona. I don't know the finer details. That court case is still sealed. But so
she was my friend. Sure, she was a goat, but she was my friend.
So now we're getting into that not safe for YouTube. We don't talk about those kind of special friends that you had in Arizona. We're gonna go ahead and get the closing arguments out of Dic Dastardly here. Go ahead and make it so I can go and just try to forget this whole experience happened. Dic, we've got 1 minute on your timer for your closing arguments. Are you ready to kind of pull everything together and make it a concise argument, plead your case to our tribunal, and let the cards fall where they may?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Perfect. Your time starts now.
So, talking about this, unlike our fruit-filled raviolis, aka Pop Tarts, we have to really think about, by labeling things as sandwiches that don't belong as sandwiches, you're really not just hurting people, but you're hurting whole communities. You're devastating them by mislabeling them, cuisining them, if you will. And in this day and age, we don't do that. We're very careful with the nouns that we use for our foods, as you should be, because that's the day and age that we live in. You have to ask, taco, what would you like to be called? And that's how you really know. And you have to do it for each taco, because not every taco is the same.
Stop. Your time is up, sir. Oh, God. All right. I'm so glad this is towards the end of this episode. I apologize if we have offended anybody's naming sensibilities. If you feel tacos should be labeled one way because because we didn't ask the taco, I apologize. That's not the kind of show we're trying to run here.
Professional nouns.
All right. So what this comes down to, as far as what I can tell, is really portability versus just accuracy and standardization. Yes, if you label something based off of portability, anything could be a sandwich, which reminds me of a skit from Auntie Donna about how everything's a drum, but that's something you should look up later. Are you familiar with her? Are you familiar, Dic?
Oh yeah,
Not
I
bad.
love
All
it.
right. If everybody
So
else
good.
look up Auntie Donna, everything's a drum. But
Highly recommend.
you're right. If you don't
Is that
stop,
the Australian sketch comedy group?
it is. I don't know if they're New Zealand or Australian. I am a filthy American, so they all kind of sound the same. And I hate to say that, but at least I'm honest about it, and I admit that I am flawed. Maybe that means I won't get crucified on the internet. But so as far as this argument, CheesyFudge, your argument comes down to the portability and the ingredients used. Dic, your argument comes down to traditional naming and the standardization used. Both of those are valid arguments, and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect either of you to keep this as professional and civil as it was. So I want to take this moment to just really thank you individually. Before we go over to our tribunal and get our final thoughts and get their winners, CheesyFudge, do you have anything that you'd like to talk about? Anything you'd like to mention? Anything you'd like to shout out?
No, not really. I am working on an Instagram because the MySpace is too old.
I appreciate you taking that for me, that lead for me when I said, "Hey,
I
can
have 2
you
whole videos.
get some sort of social media going?" And you were like, "I got MySpace," and I'm like, "I don't even know if I could post links to MySpace because I don't know if they have that functionality." But I appreciate you putting the effort. What's your Instagram, and I will update you from Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
I'm not really sure because I'm not sure if it's under CheesyFudge or if it's under Eric Mickle, because it is through my Facebook, and I think my Facebook's Eric Mickle. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
Did you friend the channel?
Yeah, I liked it.
All right. Let me see if I can figure out how to use Instagram and pull that up. You know what? I can't. I don't know how to use it. I'm 41 years old. I don't know how to use Instagram. So we're just going to leave you as Manic Pixie Dream Girl for now. All right. Dic, you have anything that you'd like to say, anything you'd like to plug, anything you'd like to shout out?
So I just want to point out that typically sausage is a ground meat wrapped in a skin casing, such as like intestines, something like that. So if you partake in eating sausage, as it's traveling through your intestines, you basically become a sausage. Also, you can find me at SPT Dic Dastardly on Instagram. That's about it. That's about all that I got.
All right. So I've got that updated. Well, again, I appreciate you both taking the time to come out and do this. I know it was a little bit of a cluster. We had some dropouts, and I appreciate everybody just pulling together last minute so we can go ahead and get this put together. It's always a pleasure talking to you, Dic. You're always entertaining. Cheesy, it's been a blast having you on. I can't wait to have you back. But for now, we're going to go ahead and move over to our tribunal and see what they thought and see who they're going to give the win to. So first, we're going to go ahead and get started with Melissa, our newcomer. Melissa, what you think of the show?
There's definitely an entertainment factor.
We try.
However, my opinion of the matter doesn't matter. Just who was the best argument, right?
Well, you got about 30 seconds before I cut you off and I make you pick a winner.
Okay.
If you want to talk or justify.
I would like for it to be mentioned that Spanish sandwiches are called tortas.
Fair.
Tacos are not taco tortas, burrito tortas.
Oh.
So no, but I think the arguments were great. Gonna have to go with Ren.
Okay, so we're going with Dic Dastardly. Okay, so Aaron, I know you are probably mid game here. I apologize. If you could, I just lost him for a minute. We'll come back to him. Tiffy Poo, what did you think? Who do you think won?
And they get to take it home and get another meal out of it. I'm leaning towards Ren just because a sandwich is an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other filling eaten as a light meal. Not portable, as a meal. So, now, to be honest with you,
Tiffany is going against the judge, and that's fair. And to be honest with you, I think Melissa's comment about the torta, I mean, technically, if there is a Spanish word for sandwich, then there's a separate Spanish word for taco, that makes sense to me. That would be fair. So we've got Dic Dastardly in the lead by 2. Aaron, what do you think, man? Firstly, where do you stand as far as ketchup being a smoothie?
Don't believe in it. No,
you don't believe in ketchup being a smoothie? What about raviolis being a Pop-Tart?
No, don't agree with that one either.
Good. I was gonna hate to have to like kick you when I saw you next. So thank you.
I'm gonna say though, I just don't think tacos are sandwiches.
All right. So
in my opinion.
So who are you going with?
With that being said, I'm gonna go with Dic Dastardly here.
Whoa, we got a clean sweep, everybody. Dic Dastardly takes the episode. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm shocked. I didn't think that would happen in a million years. I purposely gave him the rough one, man. I don't know how he pulled that out, but kudos to him. I think, like I said, the argument that Melissa had there, the technical language of it, I see that. I at the end of the day, if you're happy eating something, it shouldn't matter what it's called. I don't think people should put those kind of limitations on where you can open a business. So good on this guy for fighting it, and good on this guy for standing up for what he believes. But as far as you, Indiana judge, who thinks that tacos and burritos are Mexican sandwiches, the tribunal has spoken. But more importantly, what do you think? Who do you think won? What kind of arguments would have you come up with? Where do you stand as far as a ravioli being a Pop-Tart? Because apparently I could just see a lot of people having strong opinions on that, and I want to hear all of them. I promise that I will absolutely read all of them. But in the meantime, if you liked what you liked, if you like what you saw, give us a follow, a like, a share. If you didn't like it, let us know, leave us a dislike, and come back and see what we're going to argue about next time here on the Sock Puppet Tribunal.